I'm going to tell you a story that my students from Northlight, the Ripples Club, made. It's an infusion of modern pop culture and old English fairy tale. Once there was a girl by the name of Jizoo. Jizoo was a young Singaporean girl who loved to eat fried chicken, Pikachu. She loved BTS and Blackpink. And her name, Jizoo, is the name of one of those famous girls in the girl band. I'm sure you know that band. Well, Jizoo was beautiful too. She had 4 brothers. They were Jim, Tim, William, and Nick. They lived in Ang Mo Kio in a beautiful big house with 7 smart TVs, a garden, a swimming pool. Oh, lovely, and servants to serve them. But suddenly their father lost a lot of money because he gambled. The family downgraded from that big house to a small 3-bedroom house. No more smart TVs, just one TV in the living room. No more cars, no garden, no helpers. But then, Jizoo being so pretty, she had a lot of young men who liked to visit her. Many fell in love with her. But there was one particular one called Prince Chris. Yes, a very unique name, for he indeed looked like a prince. Oh, wow, he stood tall. His hair was well combed, and he spoke, perfect English and perfect Chinese, and some other foreign languages as well. He looked and he sounded educated. Now Prince Chris, when he smiled, all the girls would, including Jizoo. Prince Chris would speak to Jizoo. Of all the girls, he would only talk to Jizoo. And then soon, the two were talking about marriage plans. Prince Chris told her about his house all the way in Jurong. This is the west of Singapore, a far away place. But Jizoo had heard about a big house in Jurong. It was that big house that she had seen in the magazine. Oh, Prince Chris owned that house. Of course, Jizoo fell in love with him. The 4 brothers was glad that Prince Chris wanted to marry their sister. Now, strangely enough, Prince Chris never invited Jizoo or her brothers to his home. And that's why Jizoo was so curious to see that house that one day would belong to her. That without his permission or without his knowing, she went to visit his home when he went away. And this was just the day before the engagement day. She went to that house, she found it. Oh, wow. It had the big gates. She read the words on the gate. Be bold, be bold. Why, telling her to be brave, to enter into the house. Why not? Why not? She pushed open the gate and walked down the stone path towards the main door. Oh, it looked like a heavy door. And on it wrote, be bold, but not too bold. Not too bold? Why, I've come all the way here. I should go in, I'm sure Prince Chris wouldn't mind. And she opened the door. And when she got in, she was greeted by the high ceiling, the chandeliers, the carpet floors, and the furniture. They looked expensive. The cutlery, the vase, all the decoration, so beautiful. And all these were going to be hers. She was going to be the lady of this house. She was so excited. She walked in, looked around, and then she saw the stairs, the big stairway that led to the second floor. She walked up the stairs, and in that long corridor where there were 20 rooms, she had read that in the magazine, she decided to venture into the rooms. She tried one door, but it was locked. Another door, it was locked. She tried again. Her curiosity made her even bolder. Until the 20th door, it was not locked. But on top, on that door, were written, be bold, but not too bold, lest your heart's blood may run cold. My blood run cold? I'm too excited. And she pushed open the door. It was darkness. She stepped in there. As she walked in, because she could not see, she slowly felt around with her feet, and then something stopped her from walking further. Something on the floor. She bent down to touch it, and it was soft. It was hair. Wet hair. She wanted to see what it was. She saw, a little bit of light coming from a window. She raised up that hair and looked. It was hair with blood. And that's when she saw, hanging from the ceiling, the bodies of women in white gowns. Quickly, she ran out the room. She ran down the stairs, and she was ready to run out when she saw through the window Prince Chris dragging a girl, a young girl, with him. Oh no! She hid behind the door just in time. When he came in, he spoke roughly to the girl, asking her to move faster. Jizoo had never heard him speak like that. And then he told her to give him the ring. Give me the ring! Give me the ring! But she said, no, no, no. And the two of them were struggling. And then he hit her on the head. She fainted. He pulled the ring off her finger. He pulled it so hard that it flew and dropped down to right next to Jizoo. Oh no! Is Prince Chris going to walk towards her and find out that she's there? She prayed really hard. But Prince Chris was too upset with that girl. He lifted her up, muttered something about, forget about the ring, and then he carried her up the stairs to the second floor. As he disappeared, Jizoo quickly ran out the doors, ran out the gate, and as soon as possible got home. Now the next day, was engagement day. Prince Chris went to the humble home of Jizoo. He entered the house and saw Jizoo sitting in the living room, pale looking. My beautiful Jizoo, what's wrong? Today is our engagement day. You should be happy. I had a bad dream. Oh, tell me. I love to hear whatever you say. Your beautiful voice rings in my heart. I dreamt that I went to your house. That big house in Jurong. I dreamt that I saw your gate, and it had the words, "Be bold, be bold." Ah. But it is not so. It was not so. Yes, and then I walked to your main door, and on it were words, be bold, but not so bold." It is not so. It was not so. And when I entered your house, I went to the second floor, to a room that had the words, be bold, but not so bold, lest your blood run cold. Prince Chris began to shift. It is not so, nor it was not so. Yes, and in that room I saw bodies of women in white gowns hanging, and oh bloody, I ran out of that room, and then I saw you dragging a young girl with you. Oh, you forced a ring out of her, and that ring dropped, and it fell to my feet, where my feet were. No, it was not so. God forbid should it be so. Yes. And here is the ring that fell. Here is that ring. Oh, at this point, Prince Chris got up and looked at Jizoo, staring in her eyes. He put his hands around her neck, ready to strangle her, when all of a sudden the 4 brothers of Jizoo came out, all brandishing knives that they have in their home, at Prince Chris. And the police came with their guns pointing at him. And that night, the police arrested Prince Chris. And that night, the 4 brothers hugged their sister, promising that they would protect her always.